What's up, Gumi Gang? And it seems like Treyarch has just released a new patch just before Season 1 drops, and with this patch we got some shotgun tuning, but it's not the good kind, and actually it's pretty rough, mostly for the Gallo, but the Hauer was also affected. Now Treyarch has yet again disappointed the shotgun community with this patch, and I gotta say the nerf is pretty bad overall. I mean, the guns still work, mostly the Hauer, but the Gallo actually got hit kind of hard in a few different ways. I've got ranges and all that stuff to go over, so let's just hop right into it. Now they did release the patch notes a little bit ago, so I waited to post my findings just so I could compare with the actual changes. Now first off, for both of the shotguns, it seems like the barrels have now been tuned down slightly in their overall effective range. The patch notes just say decreased damage ranges, but it is a little more complicated than that. If you remember, the Hauer and the Gallo had a 20-meter effective range, meaning pellets would basically disappear right at that 20-meter mark, or right after I should say, and with the Ranger barrel you could get like 27 meters of range, which is really good. Now the base effective range is basically the same, it's still 20 meters, but the extended barrel only goes up to 22 meters as opposed to 23, and then the Ranger barrel only reaches to 25 meters and not 27 anymore. Now looking at the Hauer specifically, the one-shot kill ranges for most barrels seem to have been untouched, save for that effective damage range. But also the Task Force barrel seems to have gotten a slight adjustment. Now the max one-shot kill range with this barrel used to be 10 meters, but now it got lowered to about 9.2. The max effective range was also cut by just a meter, from about 18 meters to 17 meters. Now it's not a huge nerf here, but in my opinion it was just completely unnecessary, because the only way to get this consistently was to use the V-choke, which of course you have to aim down sights and be really accurate with. So now it won't reach out quite as far, but it's still relatively intact. Also, it seems like the Task Force barrel actually does more damage now, so it went from 45% damage to a 50% damage increase, and that is something that the patch notes didn't really state. So before, it dealt 231 damage overall, with pellets doing 12 damage each as opposed to the standard 3 per pellet. Now the Hauer can deal 239 damage up close with that barrel, so each pellet deals 13 damage. Overall it doesn't really change the gun much. Yeah, I guess it's nice, but it's still pretty much the same. In its max effective range you still only need to hit 2 pellets to get a kill. If the enemy is weaker, it can help more, and it technically should be more consistent in closer ranges, but you really won't be able to tell that much of a difference. So for the Hauer, to sum it up, barrels have less overall range, but the same one-shot kill ranges from what I can tell, but the Task Force barrel only has a shorter one-shot kill range, and pellets deal slightly more damage. Now for the brunt of the patch, which was the Gallo, which definitely got hit hard in a few different ways. Now first off, the base Gallo used to have a 2-shot range of about 8.1 meters. This range got cut down to about 6.2. Ouch. So it got about 24% reduction in its 2-shot kill range, which is pretty painful. Now with the barrels, same as the Hauer, the barrels that extend range also got cut short in about that 2-shot range and overall effective range. For the extended barrel, you now have a 6.9 meter 2-shot kill with 22 meters of effective range, and for the Ranger barrel you have a 7.9 meter 2-shot kill with 25 meters of overall range, so that's 23% and 21% less range respectively. This hurts the gun a lot. Now the Task Force barrel also got a nasty hit. It used to deal 81% more damage, which was, I gotta admit, kind of crazy, but now it only deals 47% more. So the Task Force barrel went down from 214 total damage up close with 12 damage per pellet to only 174 damage overall with about 7 damage per pellet. It's still enough to kill in one shot up close, but it's not going to be nearly as strong, and the 2 shots will be more common. And just like with the Hauer, the overall range is cut by about a meter with this barrel, so it's down to 17 meters from the usual 18 where it used to sit. And then yet another nasty hit is that rate of fire, and this is arguably the worst part of this nerf, at least in my opinion. The Gallo before this nerf could shoot at about 212 rounds per minute. Now it shoots at 189 rounds per minute, which is noticeably slower when you use it. If you've been getting used to its speed, it's going to feel pretty obvious when you actually try it again. The barrel that helps its rate of fire brings it up to 218 rate of fire, which is just barely over the original rate of fire pre-nerf. So if you want the Gallo to feel more like it did, you need the reinforced heavy barrel for the range and the fire rate. But the 2-shot range is pretty rough now. It's still manageable and more geared towards being a true weak secondary, but it can still work. As a primary, it's just going to be really tough to use outside of like 5 meters, honestly. That rate of fire is just pretty rough, and it's just not that great anymore, and the SMGs were already outgunning me before, so now it's just kind of painful. Lastly, the patch notes did say they adjusted the fire rate barrels for each gun, and it looks like the only one that got it was really the Hauer's barrels. The Gallo still gets about a 16% boost to its fire rate with those barrels, but now the Hauer gets a 6% boost as opposed to, get ready for it, 5%. Wow, that's such a big difference. I mean, really, it's not that noticeable. Maybe if you use the gun quite a bit, but even for me, who uses it pretty religiously, it's really not worth running over the other damage barrels, in my opinion. And that just about sums up the patch notes and all the things that I could find out about this change. There's nothing too bad for the Hauer, honestly, but the Gallo, it did get hit pretty hard with that fire rate nerf and even the damage range nerf. So honestly, I'm kind of okay with it, but I'm just a little sad still that shotguns just can't be primaries. But anyway, let me know in the comments below what you think of the balancing. Was it too much? Was it not enough? I'll be seeing you guys in Warzone very shortly with the new content coming, so be sure to subscribe if you want to see more shotgun goodness. And with all that being said and out of the way, I want to wish you all a happy day/night, and I'll see you in the next video.